Hey guys, Newbie here, and today I wanted to show you how to run some of the software on the GamePRo. So we're going to look at two programs today. The first one will be shiny Horde hunting, and the second one will be soft resetting for a shiny Ho-Oh. So first of all, looking at the Horde hunting program. Now just bear in mind this is restricted at the moment to encounters where the Pokemon don't have their abilities pop up. That's something I need to implement at a later date. So first of all, we need to start off in a grassy area. And we need to have a Pokemon with the move Sweet Scent in our party, and it needs to be in the second slot. Okay, and I've just got an executable here, which we should be able to double click to launch the software. And the first thing it says is which camera do you want to open. So we're just going to hit 0. And that opens up the GamePRo camera. Now that won't be true on every computer, because some computers have built-in webcams or other webcams. So for example, on this computer, if I hit the number 1, then that's going to open up the webcam built into my computer, which is obviously not the correct one. Okay, so we need to stick with 0. There we go, and that's the GamePRo webcam. And then when it says, is this the correct camera? We need to say yes. Correct camera was found. Alright, enter the COM port number. Now this is the COM port that it needs to use to communicate with the GamePRo, and the easiest way to find it is if you go to the Arduino program. Down in the bottom right hand corner there's this COM17. So if we come back to this software, we need to enter the number 17. Right, and the port is opened, so that should launch the software now, which it has. So it's just going to the second slot in my party and using the move Sweet Scent. And this is actually going to use the light sensor on the bottom screen. So it detects when the bottom screen first goes dark, and then it's going to do the same when it stops being dark, and it's going to calculate that length of time, and that's going to basically determine whether or not it's a shiny encounter. So if we look over here, we can see the blackout limit will be set to 14,013. And the actual encounter took 13,213 milliseconds. So the reason the program pauses here and waits for input is just in case you actually find a shiny on the very first encounter. But otherwise it's going to use this 14.013 seconds to work out if it's been a shiny encounter or not. So, and we need to make sure that we've selected this window and then hit the button enter, and the program should carry on. So it's going to run from that battle, and then it will basically repeat the process. So it's going to go back into Pokemon, go to the second slot and use Sweet Scent again. But now it's basically checking the blackout time, and if it comes across a time that's over that 14 seconds, then it will stop, or basically go into an infinite loop just waiting for your input. So that will only happen in the instance where it's had a shiny encounter. So we can see that encounter was only 12,979. So normally it's about 2 seconds longer for the shiny encounter, so we'd expect something around about the close to 15 seconds when it does find a shiny. So once you've got to this point, you can just basically leave the program running, and then come back at a later stage, and hopefully you've had some luck finding a shiny. Okay, and this is the Ho-Oh software, and to set it up you just basically need to be standing in front of the portal, basically one step away and facing up, and then we can double click on the executable and it'll launch the software. And this is very similar to the other one, so you just select which camera you want to use, or which webcam. Is that the correct camera? Yes. And enter COM port number, which is still 17, and that opens the port, which will basically get the software to start running. Now this one does actually use the webcam, so it uses the webcam to detect the blue color of the water, but right now as it's going into battle it uses the LDR on the bottom screen to check the blackout time of the bottom screen. So we can see that came out as 14.6 seconds basically. So that took a little bit longer than in the Hordes, just because Ho has an ability that comes up. So the blackout limit is set to 15.449, so that means if it goes over that time, it's found a shiny. So we just press enter to continue, and it will soft reset because that wasn't a shiny. And then as it goes through the menu here, it'll just tap A at random times, and it's basically looking for that blue color of the water again. So you can see here it's just working through the menu, tapping A, and you can see there's this black rectangle that keeps showing up here. That's what's looking for the blue water, which it's now seen. So it steps up one square, interacts with the portal, and then again it's looking at the bottom screen for the blackout time, which it'll compare that to what it found the very first time. Okay, and you can see it was almost the same as the very first time, so it obviously wasn't over the limit. And it will just keep basically repeating that process until it does find one that is over the limit, in which point will hopefully be the shiny. So that's all I've got for today. I have left a link to these 2 bits of software down in the description if you want to give them a try. But until next time, see ya.